Again, good afternoon to you. If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. We're going to have an open line for today, Friday, the 21st day of. There's so many issues and so little time. So we're going to open up the lines here this afternoon. Good afternoon again and welcome. A former manager of the Kingsville Airport seems very concerned as it relates to some bank festivity or activity taking place at the Kingsville Airport. Mr. Don Corriott, a former manager, general manager of the airport, now retired, is concerned about what's taking place. Let's listen for a few minutes here. Let's go back to that. Yeah?
Good day to the people of Dominica. I was on a sabbatical, but I have to break my silence. I need to break my silence of what is going on, especially at the Kingsville Airport, where I worked for the better part of my life, 27 years. And it burns my heart. And when I pass at the Kingsville Airport to see the state of that airport, I mean, has it been abandoned? Isn't it a port of official entry? And why, if that's the case, why is it looking that way? Why is it not maintained, at least to aviation standards? There are standards that govern aviation, and I cannot believe what I'm seeing. The place is a total disgrace. It's an eyesore. I mean, it's despicable, man. It's a travesty to aviation, what I'm seeing at the Kingsville Airport. I've been worked there, I've been managed there for a number of years. There's no standard being applied to the facilities at the airport. I mean, look at the state of the runway and its shoulder. To add insult to injury, I mean, the authorities are allowing somebody to dump pallets at the beginning of the runway down the Massac end. And those of us who pass in authority, the ministers, the PSCs, they don't see that. That's a safety issue. You have planes on the tarmac back there. If a plane should run off the runway and fall in one of those piles of debris or hit one of those piles of debris, the country is going to face a lawsuit. It's going to get negative publicity. What the hell is going on, man? I mean, we don't have no pride. We don't have no standards. We don't have no codes anymore. How can you have piles of debris adjacent to the touchdown point at an airport? It's not only a safety hazard, it's a risk, it's an eyesore, it's not a welcoming. It's like that's our bouquet of flowers for planes coming into the airport. It's an official port of entry, and we should treat it that way. I'm pissed off, man, as a former manager. And I held my silence for too long. Every time I pass there, man, it burns me, man. Under Mr. Richards' watch, under Mr. Henry's watch, under my watch, that could never have happened. I mean, come on, man. We can do better, man. Let's do better, man. Get that nonsense out of the. In fact, I heard on the radio the Ministry of Tourism, and investor, whatever they are, they're going to have a bike fest in July at that airport. I'm sure they're going to do everything in their power to clean it up and make it look nice for your bike fest. Everything in Dominica is a fest now. But the country is festering in foolishness, mediocrity, and it's nonsense now. But they're going to have a fest there. Sure, they're going to clean it up. But they won't clean it up for the everyday use of the airport, man. I'm sick. I'm mad. You know, crazy, man.
So we come, they say. I think it was Spider who sang that song, huh? Let's go back to the telephone. Yes, good afternoon to you. Friday, 21st. Yo, how you doing,
Good
bro?
afternoon, man. How you doing?
I'm okay for now.
Man, I
Um,
just heard that video you played a while ago. Let me tell you something about the state that people let things go to the court. Man, I've seen it a lot of times up here in city areas, right? If you read and you read and you read, you get the information, you get the answer, you see the problem. There's a place in Baltimore City, right, that I've read so many articles because I used to subscribe to the city page of the Baltimore Sun. And John Hopkins lived in a place, you wouldn't believe, that's the world's top hospital running, number one in the world. But around in certain neighborhoods where he lives, it's predominantly black people and poor white people. And they let that whole neighborhood around that place go down. I mean, just let it trash until one day they made a proposition to the city so they could buy it till it's cheap. They bought up like 44 square blocks of property with the relic homes on it. And now they have rehabilitated it and make it look nice. And the people who want to live in the home cannot come in. It's part of the gentrification and it's part where you take property, find real estate property, and you get it there cheap. So here's what I'm saying to say all this what I just told you. I'm beginning to realize what these guys are doing is let the country go to the dogs, right? And then all of a sudden, them and the deep pocket friends come in and buy everything for like little money and claim it's them fix it and it's not so. That is a tactic. I understand what the man is saying, but that's one of my points. I want to go back to your point this morning that you played with your police inquest into one of your followers Wednesday. Not I listened to the program on Wednesday, and I never once heard a man made no kind of uh, 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 reference to a violent protest or anything going by anybody out to do any kind of destruction, any fight, none of that. And then the police came to you and trying to make some kind of impression of, well, incitement. Garbage. Man, you know how the police operate.
mhm.
There was you, there was a lot of things. I said before that, and I tell you that before we call your point, right? And they could have take and go and check on that. A lot of white collar crime. All the guys at the top stealing. Everybody else making a muck of the country's finances. And the police says nothing. The JCP says nothing. Nobody says nothing because you know why? They all, as far as I'm concerned, are part and parcel to the problem. They all get to pay and cease in the country. But when the poor people speak and try to fix the problem that these guys are creating, they tend to make it look like somebody want to drop a bomb, somebody want to shoot a gun, or somebody want to fight. All the man was saying, and I said it before, people could take the protest to the constituents where the parliamentarian who represented them, whatever village the labor in Paris, the people could go there and protest them, meet them on the street, and let them register this, discuss with them, so they know that the people are not welcome. The people are not satisfied with their lack of good governance, the thievery, and all the other things. But what the police is trying to do, trying to intimidate you, trying to intimidate liquor man on the street, trying to intimidate anybody they come in contact with who speak against injustice and thievery, and that's all it is. If the police really want to do some work, they should leave Matthias alone and go see the people who are stealing from the country in the millions of dollars. Not when you put your program on, let me give you advice. You have a disclaimer. Just play. Whatever said on this show is not the responsibility of the radio station and whatnot. You can keep telling your callers to be careful what you say. But as long as they are not saying, well, directly go this one or go that one, what's that one head, all of that. All of that is garbage. What the police is doing is trying not to do their work and try and make people shut up. And you can't do that. This is a democracy. If it is a democracy, the people can do that. If it's not, we really have a dictatorship, and that's what we are operating under. Because they need to go and call Spirit. They need to go and call the other ones who still in fast food. They need to go and check on police, the ones who committed a crime. You know, a man to commit a crime against you, and then when they find out who committed the crime against you, find it 4-year-old stamp of a skin to commit a crime against you so you could penalize an innocent man. Why the police on that? These are the things that the people need to tell the police. Go do some real police work. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. It's 1:37. A lot of issues servicing at this time. Some folks complained about Q live stream. Any technical problem? I don't know. I suspect we're having some problems with TuneIn Radio. That's what the problem is. TuneIn Radio. You might want to try another application. Try myradiohot.com. Try this. TuneIn Radio seems to be having some problems. So try another app, myradio.com. myradiohot.com. Try this. So you can go to Q95 on live online radio.net. Try that, okay? Sorry about that. Sorry. I'm trying to find out. Somebody's alleging there that there may be some investigation taking place at immigration as to what is going on. I don't really know. Also, reports of some fight taking place at the ITSS with a student and the principal. I can't confirm that just yet. Again, some people may be getting us on TuneIn and others are not. So, a lot of people complaining as well, huh? Someone saying that we're receiving you loud and clear. I want to also share, based on the conversations we've been having as it relates to elections and corruption. This video has been making the rounds. I want to share with you as it relates to keeping politics clean. We're going to come back in a minute. Yes, let's go back to the video I was talking about there from the Prime Minister of Singapore, as it relates to keeping the country clean. Just make reference to Dominica. That's how we should have it right here in Dominica, keeping elections clean.
Politics have to be honest. The people have to be clean and honest also. If you're not honest, if you're not clean, if you have a black mark, whether people know it or not, please stay out of politics. So we need honest politicians, and we also need voters who can tell the difference between people who are honest and people who are not. And I was very, very surprised yesterday that here on this spot yesterday to hear Dr. T. Sun Juan say, reputation is temporary, but character is permanent. I think Dr. T has every reason to know that character is permanent. We cannot have corruption in Singapore. We cannot have wrongdoing in the government or in high places in Singapore. That's why we have the CPIB reporting to me as PM. And if I don't give approval to the CPIB to investigate somebody, the CPIB can go to the president and ask the president for approval. President says yes, CPIB can proceed against the PM. That's why we have the Auditor General's office to keep the government straight, to keep our statutory board straight, and once in a while to find out whether the town councils are straight or not straight. These are the PAP standards, and these also have to be the opposition standards. Just because you don't wear white doesn't mean you shouldn't be white or needn't be white. That's what is different about Singapore. I can show it to other people. Can they do it? Not so easy. That's what we must always keep precious in Singapore. So maybe that is why when Mr. Lee Kuan Yew had his 90th birthday, we had a little celebration in Parliament. And he was too weak to make a speech, but he came, he joined us in the members' room. We made a birthday cake, we sang a song, blew the candles, and he made a small speech. He talked about only one thing. He said, remember, keep our system clean. And I should note that was not just PAP MPs having a celebration. That was all of the MPs having a celebration, including the opposition MPs. So the PAP MPs took note of what he said. I hope the opposition MPs also took note of what he said. Keep our system clean. You may be running the government. You may be running a ministry. You can be in a staff board. You can be in a town council. It doesn't matter. Whatever you are, uphold high standards, keep it clean. And don't say, I didn't go to jail, I'm okay.
Keeping our system clean. A message there from the Prime Minister of Singapore. I think this message should be played on a daily basis for some of the politicians we have here. I'm getting information that the Labour Party administration, the government, finally gave a private security firm the monies after the Creole Festival 2023. After 7 long months, they were waiting. And they had to suffer. So they finally got their money, and I think some monies were handed to the top of security at the time, a top police officer. I'm still waiting for the exact amount, huh? Let's go back to the telephone. Like I said, we're going to have an open line this afternoon again. Think before you speak. Hello, talk to me, yeah?
Yeah. Your name,
I'm hearing you.
yeah. You're the same Singapore. If you were that so long on the ground, or you saw it in there, you could go not nick, or you could keep on someone, no one to put up, you know. That's your honest little bit skill. And they're the highest festival students in the world, Singapore. But if you're worried that if anything fall on the ground, if go any wrong from the enemy, nobody will touch it. When you find when who is prime minister, what is president, you're right. He doesn't go, he doesn't send no shit. It's honest people.
Well, I am just hoping that our politicians can follow suit, huh? I was talking about the exact amount that was being owed to the security officers. Being sent a quota of 69,969 and 58 cents. So $69,969 and 58 cents. That was the amount paid to an owed to the security officers. Finally paid. So congratulations, guys. I hope you make good use of the money you've been talking about for a while. Hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark.
Brother, how you doing?
Yeah. I want to touch on two things. I want to thank Brother Correa for speaking up, you know. I hope more people can follow him for being quiet. I'm watching that bike thing, Mark, and I'm checking, bro. You know, we have terrain country, we have trailways, we have hiking routes, we have, you know, St. Lucia just had a bike fest. This woman comes and the same thing, they just follow in fashion, you know. You have to develop things that are unique to you so you can develop an industry. Don't because just have an absence of vision with people that they hire to do this job. But the tourism is a joke. It's a joke. They see things like overnight things. There is no overnight solution to success, bro. You have to develop industry. You have to, you know, look at Gonzales. Gonzales come and have a festival. If you're going to have a festival like Dominica, no. You're going to have an indigenous festival. You're going to have his own type of store. He's going to do his own type of market, his own type of product, although it's a festival. Dominica is like everything is just carbon copy. You have trailways, you have Dominica is a maintenance country. Organize a different concept of a bike festival. It can bring international people, it can bring tourists to a whole other kind of level, but no, it's a fact. Man go and ride bike by the airport and drinks and but no industry concept, no real foreign currency concept for development of a product that can be our own unique product. And that is what is killing the country. An absence of foresight. You know, not on the issue this morning and all these things bothered you and all them things. I am happy we had the conversation. It is yesterday I had people come out and everything and this Mr. James and Mr. James about our differences and that's life. But I don't think people quote what Mr. James was saying. Mr. James was saying exactly what happened to you, in an indirect way. He's not saying not to act, He's saying I cannot come on the radio and tell you to act because this is what's going to happen, exactly what happened to you. You understand? So it's the language people have to figure out, what is going on. You have to speak wisely in Dominican now for you to do action. You cannot just call the radio and be explicit about things. You cannot do that no more. You have to be wise. You understand? You have to be wise. And I'm saying that when all is said and done, we spend time complaining about the police, but we have to ask ourselves, what is the result that we can take that we can fight the police? And the result we can take is numbers. So what I wish we would spend time on the radio this time and talking about is how we can mobilize these numbers because unless we can get numbers, we cannot stand up to the police unless they have numbers. Making noise about it, cussing out the police, or those things are not going to get us anywhere. The only way we can stand up to this madness in Dominica is we must establish some serious numbers of resilience. That is the only way. So I really wish we would spend more time on the radio talking about how we're going to mobilize these villages, talking about what people are going to do. I heard Brian yesterday, excellent solution. But the solution I would love for Brian and you to talk about is the Northeast. If it's expensive for everybody to go to town, money side, anything workers not getting paid, people not getting paid, then let us talk about regional institutions of resilience. Let us talk about the Northeast, how we can mobilize the Northeast. Frustration in Westfield, Mary got killing it. Let us talk about the Northeast. Let us talk about the East. Let us do this thing in a way that we can afford to do it. It's not no big money. We have to find solutions in our reality. I please, Matt, but sometimes some of these things that you read from people, it does discard the conversation. You have to start being a little more selective, bro. Some things you have to just don't read. Straight up. I don't know how to do your job. But we have to try to build message sometimes. And when you want guys with the thing, the message never gets built. It never gets built. You understand? So you have to be a little, I know it's hard work for the people, but I'm just saying sometimes just don't read that, man. Straight up.
All right, again, my brother said, everybody would have a different opinion. So sometimes you have to just say, balance it up and decide whether you want to play it or not. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Uh-huh. Voice note there. Go ahead.
Matt, keeping elections clear, which is what it should be, Matt, but that will not happen. That will never happen. You will never live to see that happen, not under this Labour government. Fair election is something that should be in every country. And the Labour Party have used it, manipulated their people. The Labour Party has gone out there and telling people that United Workers' Party wants to restrict people who live abroad from voting. They have twisted it. You've got old ladies who support Labour calling and saying about voters' ID card. I've been voted for how many years? I don't need voters' ID card. They have brainwashed the people. That will never ever happen. The Prime Minister has manipulated, even after saying and confessing that whatever is proposed by Barron or whoever the man that was paid thousands to redraft or electoral reform, even after he's proposed it, the Prime Minister have refused to accept it. That will not happen. That will never happen. You will never live to see that happen. Not under this government, mate.
All right, let's go back to the telephone 449-309-596 and 97. Talk to me, yes?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Matt.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Mr. Zed Lloyd. But is it that Mr. Zed Lloyd had said he would have come to Dominica after he finished writing his book to protest with us? And number two,
Is Mr. Zed Lloyd went to the Middle East when Israel and the other parties fighting that war? Did he go there and protest for them? So if he could do that, why he can't come down to Dominica just like me and come down to Dominica and protest? I on my way soon to come down to Dominica to protest. So tell him come down and protest with us too.
I have no information that he was in the Middle East protesting there for for Israel or the Palestinians. I don't talk to him on the telephone. I have no information on that. 449-3095-96 and 97. But we've been hearing constant calls from Mr. Zed Lloyd to come home, and I guess join the conversation as it relates to protest action. But I'm sure he can make a serious contribution from wherever he is at this time. Hello, yes.
Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Mother, I've been advocating that privately because I suspect that we're going to have a peaceful protest anytime in Dominica. Matt, I want to call on some of us in the diaspora because I'm ready to make a donation on Saturday night because we're in a fight for democracy. We're in a fight for free and fair election. And Matt, since I know myself, no police have warned me. But I'm calling on us in the diaspora. About 1,000 of us. There is going to be a peaceful protest in Dominica, and I can feel it. Let's make our mind to go down to support them. At least 1,000, even 500 will help. So I am making that call. Mark, anybody who call you, give them my number because I think it's a good thing if we can have a peaceful protest to stand against the madness that have been created since 2008, Mark. It's hurting me. That nasty, stinking email that caused us to be in that situation. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Let's come back and take a break here quickly and come back, okay? Electoral reform this Saturday and every Saturday in June.
And let me make it very clear to them that this long drawn out consultation is over.
That's not the case. The people will speak. The people's voices will be heard in the ERC's ultimate battle for appropriate electoral reform in June.
For my part, when I saw the bills that have been put out by the government recently, I felt a sense of betrayal.
So Dennis Byron was paid thousands of dollars. Is Roosevelt scared listening? Has he scrapped Byron's report? Listen this week to Saturday Night Live, 8 to 10 p.m.
And we see now in this new bill that the 5-year absence has been done away with altogether.
For the better part of the last 2 decades, the struggle for electoral reform in Dominica has been against one man and his gang in government taking control of the electoral process and depriving Dominicans of the right to choose freely and fairly government of the people, by the people, for the people, with the votes of conscience of the people.
ERC, Saturday Night Live, 8 to 10 p.m. every Saturday during the month of June. Let your voices be heard in the ERC's ultimate battle for electoral reform on Q95.
AutoTrade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the AutoTrade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new AutoTrade app. Download the AutoTrade app from the Play Store or App Store today. Call us at 255-6800. AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
Somebody's asking the question, can Dominic please inform us or inform its customers why is Dominic not giving us the M-Laja option to pay and buy power? I repeat, why is Dominic not giving us the M-Laja option to pay and buy power? Just a question. On the telephone, yes. Good afternoon to you. Hello? Anybody home? I'm sorry. based on the voice clip I played earlier, somebody saying, tell the police to keep the system clean. I'm still trying to investigate, but I suspect something is afoot there at the immigration department. I'll try to find out as much as I can and give you more clarification. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Matt, Wednesday night, Mr. Ritter had a powerful program about humanity. He hit the nail right on the head. You listened to him on Wednesday night?
I don't think I listened, no.
Well, it was good. Good. Anyway, have a nice afternoon.
Have a nice afternoon to you too, okay? On the telephone, yes?
Hello?
How are you, sir? How are you?
Oh, not bad, thank you. Just a little reminder, I've been telling you all for a long time that you're living in a socialist country. Just an example, your police are behaving just as they're trained like the KGB in Russia and the Chinese. That's how they behave. So don't be surprised when they are harassing you and how they will harass other people. But the police in Dominica has no shame. The Prime Minister is a shameless human being. And most Dominicans who are supporting him are like a bunch of parasites. And I said, and I will say it again, if Jesus were to land in Dominica now, a lot of Dominicans would crucify him again for scaring. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Actually, at this time, I want to play a feature that I heard as it relates to the CBI banana monarchy. That was featuring Mr. Dwight Astafans, a former tourism minister of St. Kitts. Speaking to CBI banana monarchy. Listen and listen well.
Greetings. During his presentation to Parliament last Friday, Prime Minister Drew said that between 2008 and 2015, 10,677 CBI passports were issued by the Douglas administration, and that between 2016 and 2022, 32,606 CBI passports were issued by the Harris administration. Prime Minister Drew also said that he inherited the jail project which the Harris administration had approved, and for which Harris and Company had granted Galaxy the allocation of 5,500 citizenship units to be sold for a possible total number of over 20,000 passports to be issued. He went on to say that from that project, his administration was, to use his term, set up by the Harris administration, and as a result, issued 20,166 passports under the jail project between 2022 and now. I take it that by the use of the term set up, PM Drew was telling us that he and his colleagues pretty much had no choice but to issue those 20,166 passports. If you add the 20,166 to the 32,606 mentioned earlier, you get a total of 52,772 CBI passports, for which Harris and his colleagues were responsible in their 7 years in office. And you get a grand total of 63,449 CBI passports issued between 2008 and 2023. But that's not all, because PM Drew did not tell us how many passports his administration is responsible for. I would be more than grateful if he or someone on his behalf could give us the numbers broken down in full detail so that we can all understand and get this thing right for once and for all. Now I have to take issue with both administrations. First, if the Harris administration allowed Galaxy to sell 5,500 units at a minimum of $175,000 each, US, as was required by law, then Dr. Harris must have calculated that Galaxy could potentially collect as much as US $962 million for the jail project, presuming that the project itself would cost $50 million US and other costs would add up to about $150 million. Then we would have a total of about $200 million US for the project, paying out everybody, leaving Galaxy with a clear profit of about $760 million US. I have not heard Dr. Harris or anybody else deny that he and his cabinet allowed Galaxy 5,500 units for the project. Maybe now would be a good time for the nation to hear him issue that denial and give a full explanation, or alternatively, admit to the issue of said 5,500 units and give the nation a full explanation and justification for that. Now, if they were going to stick to the $175,000 per application as set by law, then a profit sharing agreement of say 90% to government and 10% to Galaxy could have been made. And that might have been a project which would have been good for the people of the country. Alternatively, if they were sticking to the legally set minimum price and allowing Galaxy a profit of say $50 million, then there would be no need or justification to allocate more than 1,400 units to Galaxy, not 5,500, because 1,400 units sold at $175,000 each would generate $245 million, which would be enough to complete the project, to pay out everybody, and to leave Galaxy with a handsome profit of 45 to 50 million US dollars. If Dr. Harris and his colleagues did indeed allocate 5,500 units to Galaxy, did it not occur to them that that amount of units could result in the issuing by the government of a possible 20,000 plus St. Kitts Nevis passports for this project, and that this would be a problem for the country? Would they not have been aware of the very serious implications of having a St. Kitts Nevis passport, both insofar as our federation itself is concerned, and also in relation to our membership in OECS, in CARICOM, and of course in relation to our interactions with the world community generally? So what was the main objective and priority in an arrangement which could succeed with 1,400 units, but which was allowed 5,500? I say this again, presuming that 5,500 were allocated, and not having heard any denial of that from Dr. Harris or anyone on his behalf. Did they not consider that something like this would mongrelize our citizenship? How could they not have known that this counting was taking place? I wonder. And I believe that because they knew that, and that unit prices might be negotiated below the legal minimum, what we had was a loose, reckless, and irresponsible arrangement. Why else would they approve 5,500 units for a project that needed only 1,400 to be sold? Dr. Harris was Prime Minister at the time. He and his cabinet approved the project, and as Prime Minister, he would be expected to know all of the relevant details with regard to the project. He needs to explain this whole thing in granular detail to the people of the nation. Will he and can he say that Dr. Drew did not inherit? Or as Dr. Drew says, can Dr. Harris state that Dr. Drew was not set up with the 20,166 passport applications for that jail project? We need to know how much money was raised through this project, and we want to know who got what. I would not doubt that some people made a bag of money out of the jail project. So let me ask each and every citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, what did you get out of it? As you can hear on the street, money back, money is backing, but you're not getting any. When Dr. Harris and his colleagues were negotiating the jail project, did they have in the front of their minds people such as our kidney patients who don't have money for dialysis, who are facing death and enduring the frustration, fear, and misery of poverty in time of greatest need? There are about 50 dialysis patients in St. Kitts and Nevis, and each one of them has to find EC $125,000 a year. And all of them together have to find about EC $6.25 million a year in order to be dialyzed, the hope of staying alive. They do not have the money. There's no health insurance scheme in place, despite all of those millions of US dollars that have passed through CBI over the years. This alone, as we say, is brokeing entire families and breaking their spirits. They don't even have the money to pay the hospital, far less a first-class ticket on Emirates or British Airways to Dubai. We would not be discussing this, and similar desperate and tragic realities which our people endure day in, day out, if our CBI had been properly and caringly envisioned and administered over the last 16 years. We would not be having this discussion if the benefits of the CBI had been properly inserted into our national development programs, the most critical of which relate to life itself. Let me address Dr. Drew's comment that his administration was set up by the Harris administration. I do not agree that he had to sign these 20,166 applications. And I hold this opinion whether or not these applications had been approved. And time will prove whether I'm right or wrong on this. Meanwhile, given that PM Drew also said in his address to Parliament that in May 2023, his administration stopped accepting due diligence reports from a certain Chinese company, then maybe there's a chance that a number of those citizens will now be revoked. So let me ask you this. Why do you think all of this information is coming out only now? Why has it taken so long for you, the people of this country, to get this information? No prime minister before ever gave the full and clear picture. And with respect, what we got last Friday is not 100% clear to me. I don't know if it is clear to you. Do you believe that there's more information to come? If so, how will it come out? Do you want it to come out? Note that if you, the people of this country, were really shortchanged by this deal, it would be good for you to know, wouldn't it? And if you were shortchanged, it would be good for you to know how you were shortchanged and by how much. And it would be good for you to know who shortchanged you. And it would be good to know how and why he or she or they shortchanged you. And I'm sure you'd like to know that he or she or they who shortchanged you will do what justice requires him or her or they to do, which is face the consequences. It is a question of getting the facts and letting justice work, or blinding yourselves to the facts and pointing fingers in directions that have nothing to do with the outcome of processes of justice. I want the truth to come out. This is a critical moment for us. We must decide whether we want St. Kitts and Nevis to be a nation which operates on honor, on the rule of law, and justice for all, or whether we want St. Kitts and Nevis to be a banana monarchy, not a banana republic, but a banana monarchy. But this is only my opinion. You might see it differently. It may not be a problem for you, And if this is the case, then make sure you tell your children and grandchildren, because the truth will come out in its fullness, regardless of what you think or want or not. And you want to be careful that you are on the right side of history and that you do not allow yourself to be fooled. If you make the wrong choice, you will be contributing to what will be an indelible stain on our modern history and our patrimony. Remember, those who see wrong and do nothing are just as guilty as those who do wrong. Worse yet, if they see wrong and do nothing in a situation where they and their loved ones, present and to come, are the victims of that wrong. Meanwhile, during Dr. Drew's presentation last Friday, one of his colleagues suggested that the Harris administration should apologize to the former Labor administration. In response to that comment, I ask, is it that one administration needs to apologize to another? Or is it that when all is said and done, when all of the dust has settled, a number of persons may have to apologize to you, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis? Stay tuned.
Oh, very, very interesting piece there. Very interesting piece by the former tourism minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. Are you feeling something very very likable, if you will, and the same? What's happening in Dominica with our CBI passports? Are we getting true figures? Mr. Lennox Linton, take a bow. Take a bow. You've heard with some of what Mr. Dwyer Astafan is speaking to. Read the passports. You have exposed it in Dominica. But what are we doing about it? Just a question. I'm being told that we have a new opposition leader. In the name of Mr. Charles out of Marigot, the MP out of Marigot. Ms. Jesma Paul has served 18 months and has passed on the baton. So we have a new opposition leader, given the agreement that was signed some 18 months ago. So congratulations there, Mr. Charles, Anthony Charles of America. Again, it's an open line, 217. We're going to come right back. Electoral reform this Saturday and every Saturday in June.
And let me make it very clear to them that this long drawn out consultation is over.
That's not the case. The people will speak. The people's voices will be heard in the ERC's ultimate battle for appropriate electoral reform in June.
For my part, when I saw the bills that have been put out by the government recently, I felt a sense of betrayal.
So Dennis Byron was paid thousands of dollars. Is Roosevelt scared listening? Has he scrapped Byron's report? Listen this week to Saturday Night Live, 8 to 10 p.m.
And we see now in this new bill that the 5-year absence has been done away with altogether.
For the better part of the last 2 decades, the struggle for electoral reform in Dominica has been against one man and his gang in government taking control of the electoral process and depriving Dominicans of the right to choose freely and fairly government of the people, by the people, for the people, with the votes of conscience of the people.
ERC, Saturday Night Live, 8 to 10 p.m. every Saturday during the month of June. Let your voices be heard in the ERC's ultimate battle for electoral reform on Q95.
Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
2:19 is the afternoon time. Hello, talk to me.
Mark, let me say two things. Let me say the first one. Carlton, my friend, God bless you. You are still alive. You are in God's hand. Because I give Mark to pass the message and he do pass it. No, let me talk now. Let me tell Roosevelt Carrot while it's still early. He want to name a street after the
Cardinal?
What's his name?
The Cardinal.
The Cardinal. Start early. If you like to say things and pretend you forget, the road have to be fixed and clean and then to name it. So start doing your work early, Carrot. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
Exciting news from Sunrise Airways. Starting May 25th, we're expanding to the Eastern Caribbean with new service to St. Kitts, Antigua, Dominica, and St. Lucia. Enjoy round-trip fares starting as low as $199 US. Book now at sunriseairways.net or through your travel advisor. Experience the best in travel with Sunrise Airways. We fly to connect people. Book today.
All right, Dominica, good afternoon to you. There seems to be some confusion going on here. A letter is coming there from the President's Secretary, Mr. Donald Blackmore. I have been directed to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 20th June 2024, address to Her Excellency Sylvanie Bertin, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica. In which you advise of your resignation as leader of the opposition in Parliament for the Commonwealth of Dominica with immediate effect. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Matt Peltier.
How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
How are you? Yes.
Matt, yeah, I'm calling again, Matt Peltier.
Mm-hmm.
Based on our conversation this morning, I know you had a short time, but it's getting a little ridiculous and a little serious when we have the law enforcement agency of the country which is compromised. Matt Peltier, instead of and whoever made the comment was right. Instead of focusing on scaring, there needs to be focus on the other instruments of the state who are bounded by rules, regulations, and laws through Parliament to do their jobs. And I'm speaking about people like the permanent secretaries. These are constitutional institutions. They are set up by law and as a result have certain rules and regulations which they operate. Nobody in Dominica is above the law, including the Prime Minister and the President. Matt Peltier, look at the hierarchy of the police force. And I'm going to call names because this guy is a public figure. There's this gentleman, JJ, who was under investigation during Storm for looting. The current acting commissioner of police was sent to do an investigation at Lennox Linton home during the 2019 election when a foreigner was making false accusations by placing a bag that purport to have money that people in the Labour Party, including Ian Douglas, mentioned how much money was already in there, only to find out it was placing false evidence assisted by the police in Dominica because they were working under the guidance of the Labour Party administration. There's no doubt about it. We all know what happened. The gentleman went to Lennox Linton house, and instead of doing a proper investigation, he's more focused in searching the guy's house and embarrassing him. Now he's in charge of the police force. Let's go to Lincoln Corbett, Belty. The case of Choxy ended up in the Antigua court, and the reason why I'm bringing this up because it tells you that the institutions are messed up, and what people should be protesting about is getting rid of these individuals who think they are above the law. And their new motto is innocent until proven guilty, but they are the ones who are supposed to initiate investigations are not doing it. Let's look at what happened in the Calypso show this year when Cyrano, who's a police inspector, sang a song about the director of public prosecution. Matt Peltier, as a journalist, just go do your investigations. Go look at some of the videos, and you will see some of the companions people keep. I was in Dominica in December, and I'm hearing and seeing for myself that the entire West Coast from Anzimi to Carabrezzo probably have about 20-something policemen, and some of the districts doesn't have police vehicles. We just heard on the news in St. Joseph where police weapons were stolen from the police station. Have this been recovered? We've seen countless abuse by the police in Dominica, and they're spending time going to look at people who are marching on the streets. Matt Peltier, when I hear these guys come and run their mouth, and they believe that they are going to intimidate everybody for speaking up for what is true and right, they are part of the problem. And instead of focusing on Roosevelt Scary, I think the people of Dominica need to focus on the leaders and the people in the institution who are supposed to uphold the law and to serve the state, and instead is serving an individual for what? Well, if these guys are so in love with dictatorship, then there is a mansion in Mondaniel, and if they choose to go clean Roosevelt Scary's toilet and fix his bed, then Blackmore and Corbett and the commissioner and JJ can go work in Mondaniel. Scary has toilets he needs to clean, he has beds he needs to fix, and they can work in his gardens as little house slaves. But as far as I'm concerned, their responsibility is to serve the people of Dominica, just like the Prime Minister, every parliamentarian. And if we have a country where we are paying these people to give us proper representation of ideas and solutions, and we have our state resources, the cash from our state used against us, Matt Peltier, I don't know which is worse. So when we ask people to speak out and stand up and ask for accountability, what is wrong about that? And I'm hearing people come in and talk about, it's an incitement and incite. That's what they use. What is more dangerous than a man who has sold his country, destroyed the constitution of his own party, destroyed the constitution of the state, and then he uses the resources of the state to wage war on the institutions in Dominica and the people? What is worse, Matt Peltier? What is worse? Dominican citizens are law-abiding citizens. Nobody's fighting. They're fighting with each other. They're not even fighting with the government. I mean, every minister of government walks around Rosewood. Nobody has security except the prime minister, who have 30-something security, while entire police districts have about 20-something. You understand what I'm saying, Matt Peltier?
Mm-hmm.
And these guys want to make it look like the Dominican public and the opposition is asking for it. Matt Peltier, I was in Dominica when Rosie Douglas organized demonstrations. There was demonstrations in Roseau. There was burning in Kenfield. There was spoons thrown in Granby. Some of these police officers are still there. Nobody was arrested. And at the end of the day, what we have happening is a little fool who has been selected by about 1,000 people in Penville and Vickers. And the JA is going up around calling himself world boss when there are just a few people elected in a community, but you're going around talking about your world boss. This is the problem is there is a coward who is running our country, and that coward is there for his own pockets, and he's dividing the police force by installing people who have no integrity and moral compass. Their names are called in misdeeds and mischievousness, and all of a sudden they improve in rank. And guess what their loyalty is? Their loyalty is not to the institution they serve, not to the country, not to the constitution, not to the oath they take, but their loyalty is to keep one man in power, while that same man is destroying healthcare, destroying their families. And I guarantee you some of them have daughters, they'll probably be destroyed too, destroying their households, destroying their school system. And as soon as somebody gets sick, they have to run overseas, doesn't give them a raise, and manipulating them. And they walk around with the uniforms that belong to us, not to anybody else. The uniforms and the guns and the hat that belongs to us. And they walk around with uniforms and think it's high and mighty to be a house slave. That's a shame and disgrace to these individuals. Matt Peltier, if you have any integrity and you are called to service, and I cannot serve in the capacity that I am supposed to, I will resign. Because if I cannot do that, it's not just a disgrace to me, but it's a disgrace to the state. And it's about time we improve and work on our morals and our values of what make us human beings, and stop belittling ourselves and each other. Matt Peltier, I will say again, I am inciting revolution of the mind. I am inciting critical thinking, and I am exciting people to stand up brave and be strong and be counted and stop being passive. I am inciting activism in your own governance. I'm inciting people to stand up for what is right and what is just, and stop making themselves fools to an individual who has no care or concern but himself. Matt Peltier, you have a great day.
Have a great day. Something may be very strange. Maybe I made an announcement earlier that might have been too early as it relates to Anthony Charles. Something simply going on here. I'm reading this letter coming from the President Secretary to the Honorable Jasper Paul, Parliamentary Representative of the Salisbury constituency, House of Assembly, Victoria Street, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica. Dear Honorable Paul, I have been directed to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 20th of June 2024, addressed to His Excellency, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, in which you advise of your intention to resign as leader of the opposition in the Parliament of the Commonwealth of Dominica with immediate effect. In order to fill the vacant position of the leader of the opposition, the elected members, take note, of the House who do not support the government would be required to submit a joint letter to the President informing whom they now support to be appointed leader of the opposition in accordance with the Section 66 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Thanks, and please be guided accordingly. So maybe I spoke too early. I'm getting information. I'm just getting information that it appears, I say it appears, that Jasper Paul, although she resigned, but she might be unanimously returned as opposition leader. It's just round one. Tony may be left out in the ocean. Again, we have to wait for the official documents to say that, because based on the letter I read before, the president is saying that all the members of the opposition would have to submit a joint letter to the president informing whom they want to support to be the appointed leader of the opposition in accordance with Section 66 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Very interesting, huh? Wow. So, Tony, have you been left in the ocean? Just a question. Will you not get the support of the rest of the opposition members? I actually thought there was an agreement signed. Well, I'll just wait and see. I will find out. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Interesting. Wow. Are you there, caller? Yes? I'm sorry. Are you there? Caller, are you there? I'm so sorry. Yes? Hello? Yes? Uh-huh.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, Matt, that letter you just read coming from the Secretary of the President.
Yes.
To me, it makes sense in that the House is a parliamentary representative. It's like we elect people to Parliament to represent us.
Yes.
And even if Jasper Paul and whatever his name, the representative for Maribot and so, they have the agreement. I don't think that agreement would be abided by the president.
So you're saying the agreement does not hold water?
No, it will hold water among them, among the members, but not in the office of the president. So I don't think that's too much thing because the
No. The members of the opposition can decide. From what I'm gathering, they can decide they want Jesma to remain as the opposition leader.
yes, but if they had an agreement, Jesma will tell them no. Jesma, because Jesma sent in a resignation, so she has to inform those senators she appointed to support the guy. You know, they must have a caucus. So, you know, it would only be wise if she sent her resignation and give it
But in the recent days, we have seen a lot of pushback against Mr. Anthony Charles. We have seen a lot of pushback against, given his stance. We have seen a lot of pushback. So I won't be surprised if anything that, the other members of the opposition stick with Jesma. That might be a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see.
I like Jesma from Salisbury, but that wouldn't be fair, man. To push back on the guys coming. Jesma should push those senators she nominated to support the guy because he's his son. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking out loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But another thing, Matt, with what Leonard, man, I just like to hear. If Leonard keep calling every day, Matt, I don't even have to call you because he articulates his views so well, Matt, that I just have to satisfy it and just say amen to that, Matt. Because you see what happened to Dominica, that's why I always telling this people, all those people in position of leadership, they are not upholding the laws and the Constitution. They're running amok of our laws and our Constitution and the oath they took. And that's why Roosevelt, because Roosevelt carried on his own. He don't want, I don't even know, maybe this shirt, right now he has some expensive shirts, so I can't say he don't want this shirt on his back. Right now, he wearing $3,000-$4,000 shirt and $10,000 shoe. But, Matt, what we need is for people to stand up and say no peacefully. That's our right under our Constitution. We have a right to demonstrate and to protest. And listening to the guy from St. Lucia just confirm it again. That's what I call true accountability. Don't tell us look at there and see the house I build and look at there. You said passport coming up to almost $9 billion, $7 billion, $6 billion. And up to now, we don't have a clue of how many passports, how much was collected, what percentage the promoters them get, who get it. Matt, something needs to happen in Dominica. That's all I'm going to say for now.
All right, caller, thank you very much. It's 2:41. We have to look very closely at what's going on there with Parliament and the election there, or the appointment of the leader of the opposition. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes, very interesting.
Yes, Mr. Matt, I've never got myself in any entanglement and this. I usually speak my mind when
Yes.
religious thing is concerned. But you know, what I notice people, there is because of lack of wisdom, or people perish. Young people hearing about politics. God may give you a gift, maybe to even throw 2 stones on here or do another thing. Everybody have their different gifts. But young people don't seem to be thinking first. You meet people that are in those things, saturated already in this thing there, and they take a chance saying, well, we're going up for election, we're going up for this. Now, when you go up, you have to remember, the Bible said, count the cost before you jump into something, or count the believer before you build a house. They don't watch, they just say, because when this thing came in, they said it was between the Prime Minister and the Lincoln and them. They went in and they said they're going, what they call it, independent. And I always know for myself, I don't speak, I don't get into things, you know. One of these days, that will crumble down because people never satisfied. Sometimes somebody wants to be a tail, but sometimes people want to be a head. And we're going to fight in this case. He said a house divided cannot stand. And what is happening there, they're going to fight among themselves. They're going to fight among themselves, fight against each other until they dismiss. That is why they are telling to wait when things settle down well. Then people will go and see. But they jump in, they want to be independent and do this. And right now, that is what's happening there. The other people are maybe laughing at them because they're fighting among themselves. And then the other side don't do before you. A house divided cannot stand, okay? And as long as that goes on, one of these days you'll hear it and go, no, leader in the young people thing. Thank you very much. That's what I have to say.
All right, thank you very much, 449. It's something to watch here. 449-3095-96 and 97. We'll have to watch, huh? We'll have to watch the next round. Hello, talk to me, yes? Are you there? Hello? Caller, hello? Nobody there. Somebody's asking the question. So Mrs. Paul did not read the section of the law before sending in the letter of resignation. Also, I think she should have sent the letter earlier, so all that would have been sorted out before June 21st. Hello, talk to me. Yes, good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, you owe me some units, sir.
Okay.
Because you have me on.
I owe in a lot of people units.
Music.
I said I owe in a lot of people units.
You have me on and you're playing your music, and I say just cut me off. Hello, hello, hello.
Mm.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Something that just come to mind.
Yes.
Not in other countries, when like to say, okay, take for a policeman would be going out, and they would kill somebody or beat somebody, members of the policemen. But then the maybe higher rank in authority would tell you, well, the bullets came from that person gun. That person was the shooter. When that happened in Dominica, we're not hearing nothing about that. Because Kian was killed, apparently, by members of the commanders of Dominica Police Force. I put it so because it's they that was in charge of it. But up to now, we haven't heard nothing from who gun the bullet come from, who was the shooter. You don't hear people speculating and saying it was Tom, it was Dick, it was Harry. Harry did the killing. Harry maybe get promoted. But what really happening in that country now? And on another note, a couple months ago, some body was killed into a street. It was some kind of shooting, like execution style shooting. I don't know Wesley or one of them villages there. One person was arrested, was making new headline all about. All of a sudden they hear that. They hear nothing about that again. So what really happened there? Hello?
Yes, I can't tell you what happened there. I was not there myself.
But we're not hearing nothing, like if things just go cold.
Well, I suspect maybe they're still investigating.
But they had one person arrested, never hear. You just hear that in radio, but that you never come from the main source. Tell you, well, that person was arrested.
But you know, sometimes they arrest you today. You spend 2 days in the cells, and then as soon as you go out, they arrest you again. So it continues. It can continue for a long, long time.
But now you never hear nothing from the main source.
I never
You never
heard,
hear nothing.
never heard anything from the police. Never heard anything from the police.
No, it's just taking it there for a key, and you just they speculate and say it came from the bullet of a police that shoot him, but you never really know which was the policeman that shoot him. Matt, I don't know now. God have mercy on us.
God have mercy on us, Blue Blue. Hello, talk to me. Yes. All right, let's go back to the telephone. Are you there? Yes?
Yes, I'm there. Are the police investigating the Prime Minister's son who was involved in an accident where someone lost their life?
I have no...
Are they doing that? In America, the president's son was charged and convicted. You see, that's why I tell you, you're not in a democracy. You're in a bloody socialist country, communist country, led by a communist named Kerry. Thank you.
$2:51 is the afternoon time. Hello, talk to me, huh?
Good afternoon, Mark. How are you doing, my brother?
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Fine, thank you, Mark. I want to say good afternoon to my brother Blessings and to my brother Boots on the ground to his watch.
Okay.
Mark, I want to thank my brother Mr. Lennon Matthew for his contribution this afternoon, Matt.
Okay.
Because it's something that I've been saying for some time now. We need to focus on the enablers of Skerrit, the chief of which is the police force, especially the hierarchy of the police force. And I like how Lennon singled them out this afternoon, and he pinned the crimes that they're involved in on them, so that Dominicans can be reminded that it is a gangster organization we have posing as a police force, enforcing an illegal government and illegal dictatorship upon our backs, man. So I want to thank Mr. Matthew for his contribution, and I want to encourage Dominicans to assist us in focusing our protests on the police, to call out on our intellectuals and our high-ranking officials in Dominica, the pastors and so on, to engage the policemen with respect to what is happening. Find out from them if they agree with Skerrit continuing stealing elections, if they agree for Skerrit to continue to disregard the CCJ, the highest court of the land, by continuing to conduct tainted elections, if they agree to be a part, to continue to be a part of facilitating and ensuring that Mr. Skerrit steals elections. They need to be engaged on those things, especially Mr. Valerie, you understand, is a preacher in Maho. So the head of that church needs to sit down and talk with Mr. Valerie, because people will be protesting. People will rise up, Matt, to take justice in their hands and to do what is necessary to save our democracy, Matt. Matt, with respect to the resignation of the leader of the opposition, Matt, as far as the agreement that she had with the other elected member of parliament, she has fulfilled her agreement. Okay? And I think Bob Marley was making the point. The agreement that they had to swap leadership, Matt. This is not an agreement that the president is aware of, This agreement doesn't have any legal bearing or constitutional bearing as far as the presidency is concerned. The presidency doesn't know anything about that. So Jesma Charles, with integrity, kept up to her side of the agreement that she made with Mr. Tony Charles. Okay, so it is now the decision of the senators who are in the parliament to decide who they want to elect to be the next leader of the opposition between Tony and Jesma Matt. And if you replay, Matt, if you replay that interview that you did with the wife of Tony Charles, you will see how Mr. Charles will have problems getting the support of the senators whom he appointed or who he recommended to Jesma for appointment, Matt, because of the attack on those senators by the wife. Matt, you need to play that clip again, Matt. You need to play because I know those senators were listening, Matt. And this is now the senators that Mr. Charles expects to support him. And I do not think that will happen because the senators, I suspect, are scared that if they go and give their support to Mr. Charles, they will be taking their own hands to cut out their neck. Because as soon as Mr. Charles becomes leader of the opposition, without any consultation, he will have the power to remove them and to bring in Joshua and some other party goon, some other party goon from the UPP. So the people, the senators are afraid of that, Matt. They're afraid that Mr. Charles, as leader of the opposition, will get rid of them, even the senators from Salisbury too, because he has that power. You will get rid of all the 4 senators and bring in 4 UPP people, and you'll have a UPP opposition. And I suspect Jesma and others are aware of the machinations of Joshua Francis in that regard. So they're not going to allow Mr. Charles to be any leader of opposition in Dominica, to hand that over to Joshua. Whether it's a real parliament or the sham parliament, Mr. Charles may not be the leader of the opposition. Matt, you need to replay the tape with me.
I will try my very best to replay because this seems just quote unquote may be a little unfair, but again, the president is not aware of that. From what I gather, is not aware of that agreement that was signed at that time. So we'll see how that all plays there. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, good.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt. How are you?
How are you? How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Matt, independence candidates in Dominica have no clout, They're useless. They can't do anything. An independent candidate only has clout when the other parties are 50-50 or 49-50, and they have that one vote, right? They can swing it one way or the other. Apart from that, independent candidate in Dominica is a waste of time. Complete waste of time. They cannot do anything. They cannot swing it one way or another. They cannot swing it. Even though they vote against the government has 18 free or something like that. I mean, it's a total waste of time. So I don't see why we're wasting time, with independence candidates. I think we should just, forget about those guys. Let them fight among themselves and save our units. Anyway, good afternoon.
All right, caller, it's 2:57. 2:57 is the afternoon time. Are you there, caller? Yeah.
Yes, I am here, Matt. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Matt, I am in full agreement with what is happening right now. Parliament is not a circus, man.
It's not
if any of the senators would go against that decision that they've taken there, tomorrow they are no longer senators. Once Mr. Charles becomes the opposition leader, he's free to appoint and disappoint whoever he wants. All of those senators in there would be going. No matter what is a parliament when you have to be changing senators every year and 6 months? Does that sound like sense? It's a circus. And so I fully agree.
But if you have an agreement, among 2 elected leaders, don't you think that you have to fulfill that agreement?
And she did. She submitted her resignation, but
don't you think that she could have done it before the 21st?
No,
or the 20th?
The way it has to be done is that the president is duty bound to appoint the person who has the majority of support. Even for the prime minister, we don't vote for a prime minister. We vote in parliamentarians, and the one who has the most support in the parliament becomes the prime minister. Likewise, the senator or the person in opposition who has the most support becomes the opposition leader. So the whatever drafting, whatever agreement was made between the two elected parliamentarians, that is them. You appoint me as a senator. I want you as my opposition leader. So it calls for all of us to make a decision, and my decision is that I support who appointed me. Right? So Jesma has not done anything wrong. She's going according to what she agreed to. However, her decision is not binding on me. I don't have to follow her decision in that one there, because if I follow it, I'm cutting off my own throat. And so that is the way it is. He does not have the support of the other senators. So Jesma has it. So she becomes the opposition leader. That's what it is.
Well, we'll have to watch that one very, very closely there. I don't know if those that are not elected have that right to move away from that decision. But again, I'll have to talk to a lawyer about that one. Something we have to talk a little more about as to what should or should not happen in that case. Again, just to make it clear, in order to fill the vacant position of leader of the opposition, the elected members of the House who do not support the government will be required to submit a joint letter to the president informing whom they now support to be appointed leader of the opposition in accordance with Section 66 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Is that clear? And that's the big difference there. According to the section, the order to fill the vacant position of leader of the opposition, the elected members of the House who do not support the government would be required to submit a joint letter to the president informing whom they now support. I repeat, whom they now support to be appointed leader of the opposition in accordance to Section 66 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Section 66(2) of the Constitution. Whenever there is an occasion of the appointment of the leader of the opposition, the president shall appoint the elected member of the House who appears to him most likely to command the support of the majority of the elected members of the House who do not support the government. Or if not, or if no elected members of the House appears to him to command such support, the elected member of the House who appears to him to command the support of the largest single group of the members of the House who do not support the government. So we have to follow very closely there. All right, Dominica, it's around that time when we join Flo, Dominica, and we'll be back here tomorrow morning at the same time. For your favorite time on a Saturday. For your inspiration for the weekend, huh? Join us then.
When I reach any party, everybody don't know. Oh, oh, oh. If you think I'm crazy, it's the music that got me so. Oh, oh. When my party people, throw your hands in the sky. I. Come, my friends, I need you. It's time to raise the vibe. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Flow is love. Yeah. Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Grab somebody and tell them your happiness will be connect. Smile and cheer because it's me flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello.
Good afternoon, Dominica. We got about 3 minutes outside the hour 3 right now. How you doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Flow Hour right here, live on Carrier FM and the Q95. It's Friday, it's the weekend. Thank God it's Friday. It's also a Flowtastic Friday. I. Once again, you know what time it is. This is how we flow, man. And indeed, today is a good day to flow with the most reliable network, of course. This is how we flow, man. Say good afternoon going on to the bus drivers that's locked on at this time. How you doing today?
With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air.
Show some love, man. This is how we flow, man. Flow is love. Once again, you know what time it is. I'm saying a special good afternoon going out to the team at the Flow Store. Hope you guys having a fantastic Friday so far. How you doing today? Saying a special good afternoon going out to Indria. How you doing today? Always locked on. Pick up yourself. Good afternoon to you. All those celebrating their birthday today, I want to say happy birthday to you, all right? Have yourself a lovely day today. Man, this is how we flow. Five minutes outside of the hour 3 right now. Feel free to contact me right now on the WhatsApp. Hit me up on my flow phone at 612-6006.
Step to the front, oh. We're my party people, put your hands in the sky. I. Come, my friends, I need you. It's time to pay.
I want to extend out above the greetings going out to brother-in-law Bethel. We're celebrating his birthday today. Wishing you all the best on your special day. And of course, many, many more birthdays to come. Have yourself a lovely day today.
This is how we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected. Smile and cheer because it's me flow.
This is how we flow.
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Grab somebody and hold them. Jam with each other. Grab somebody and hold them. Jam with each other. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Flow is love. Yeah. Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be.
I want to big up to all the bus drivers that's locked on. Good afternoon to you guys. How are you doing today, man? This is how we flow.
Grab somebody and tell them hello.
All the street vendors that's locked on. I want to say good afternoon to you. How you doing today? I'll big up my girl Andrina one time on the way there right now. Good afternoon. Big up all my flow customers, prepaid, postpaid, and the broadband. Good afternoon to you guys.
Smile and cheer because it's me flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Grab somebody and hold them. Jam with each other. Grab somebody and hold them. Jam with each other. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Hold them close, don't go nowhere.
Yeah, man, this is how we flow.
Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow.
Show some love.
Flow, it's love. Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected. Smile and cheer because it's me flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Grab somebody and hold them. Jam with each other. Grab somebody and hold them. Jam with each other. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Hold them close, don't go nowhere.
Hello, welcome to Flow. Sign up for Flow Broadband now and get 50% off for the first 3 months. Plus, a chance to win a $10,000 Visa cash card.
Flow ni an magasin nef asi woul. Iwive eve I pawe pou mene servis bao. Nou te prometou. Innovasyon eve nou ka delivoy a prezan. Boutique Flow asi woul. Pawe pou mene bao bon kalite servis eve produit ou sa tape a pli gros magasin Flow. Si ou vle gen an portable nef, ou registre pou an servis nef, fe an plainte, ou be pay an bill, ou be simplement mari an cheksyon, ou sa fe tout sa. Kote magasin Flow asi woul. Kon sa, le ouwe magasin Flow asi woul en communauté ou obe en laouia, pa pe. Vini pou kite travailler Flow ba ou bon service professionnel. Magasin Flow asi woul, n'importe place, n'importe l'air. Ka vini en palapotou. Flow ka vini tout suite, a dan en l'occasion tout pwe.
The new Flow Store on Wheels is here and ready to serve you. We promised you innovation and we have delivered. The Flow Store on Wheels is equipped to provide all the great products and services available at our Flow Experience Center. If you want to purchase the latest smartphones, sign up for a new service, log a fault, pay your bill, or simply make an inquiry, you can do it all at our Flow Store on Wheels. Now that's what you call full service on wheels. So when you see our Flow Store on Wheels in your community or on your street, don't be shy. Stop by and let our professional team serve you. The new Flow Store on Wheels, convenience and reliability at your doorstep. Coming soon to a location near you.
You an easy way to pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering Fast Pay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? Fast Pay will send it to your email immediately. Use Fast Pay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
2 minutes and you're on your way.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus, now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
When you share $50,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, $1,000 in cash every single week. Home surround sound system, groceries, small appliances, smartphones, Bluetooth speakers, carnival tickets, and more. Wait, there is more. You could also be the grand prize winner of a $10,000 Visa cash card. Swipe all you like. All you have to do is top up $10 or more. Sign up for any new service from Flow, pay your bills in full, or switch to Flow, and you too can win more.
Get what?
How we live?
Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
What you feeling?
Living on the hybrid life.
Ain't about time we now watch phone bill. That's with the contract is a sure thing. How with the new flow plan name? If you don't know about it, then they better slide in. How we live?
Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
What you feeling?
Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
Jump in at the
hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
What you feeling?
Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
With Flow's new hybrid plan, postpaid and prepaid come together as one, with no overages, no contract, no deposit, and no catch.
Hybrid!
Bundle up now and get 30 gigabytes of data and unlimited phone calls for only $55 per month, plus a discounted smartphone.
You see the new phone plan that Flow made? You could turn postpaid to prepaid.
Hurricane season can be unpredictable, but your business doesn't have to be. In the face of adversity, you need a partner that goes above and beyond. Choose the path of resilience and certainty with CNW Business. Through disaster recovery as a strategy solution, CNW Business will safeguard your critical data, maintain seamless communication channels, and help you bounce back faster than ever before. Visit our website, cwcbusiness.com/myopenbusiness to learn more. Remember, a safe business is an open business.
When a stroke occurs, you have 60 minutes to win or lose the race of your life. There are new treatments, but you must get to the hospital fast. If you suddenly feel weakness on one side or have trouble speaking, walking, or seeing, it could be a stroke. Call 911 or 999. Get to the hospital, because how you spend the next 60 minutes could determine how you spend the rest of your life. Stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. A message from the Reasta Foundation in partnership with Flo Dominica.
Roots Rock Bar and Grill presents Reggae Night Wednesday, each and every Wednesday, featuring selected urban and special guest DJs, 9 p.m. to